Everybody wants to win. Almost none of you deserve it. And the sick part is, you already know it. You just hope nobody ever says it out loud. Too bad. I just did. You got dreams, huh? Ambition? Goals? Maybe even a journal with a lion on the cover? But here's what you really got. Excuses, weak habits, soft mornings, and a fat list of tomorrows that never actually show up. You say you're built different, but I've seen wet paper towels with more structure. The moment the plan requires discipline, you crumble. You want power, but you panic when it gets uncomfortable. You don't want greatness. You want comfort with better lighting. You think success is a mood. You think it's a vibe. Success ain't pretty. It ain't peaceful. It's war. It's cold. It's repetitive. It's 5 a.m. with no applause. It's brushing your teeth with regret and drinking your protein shake like it's poison. It's being ignored. It's being hated. It's being forgotten. And still showing up louder. You want legacy? You want the crown? Then earn it. Or shut up. You keep saying you're next. But next for what? Another excuse? Another cheat day? Another fake morning routine you'll quit by Wednesday? You say you're meant for more? You won't even answer your alarm clock. You say you're chosen? Then why are you still sitting in the same damn spot you were a year ago? Oh, your feelings are hurt now? Are you offended? Oh, are you gonna cry in your matching affirmation hoodie? Maybe light a candle and manifest your way into mediocrity? You probably got a playlist called I Am Enough, and maybe that lie gets you through the day, but it won't build your empire, and it won't scare your enemies. Let me hit you with this. You are not enough. Not yet. Not until you become the version of you who finishes the job. No one is stopping you. Not your ex, not your boss, not the algorithm, not Mercury, not God. You are the delay. You are the soft spot. You are the weakest link in your own damn story. Everybody wants to win, but you're still negotiating with your own excuses. You're still lying to your own reflection. You're still folding before the grind even asks you to bleed. You want the throne? You haven't even earned the right to mop the palace floors. You want the glory? You haven't suffered loud enough to be remembered. You keep watching champions and calling it inspiration, but deep down, it's envy. You don't want to learn from them. You want what they have, without doing what they did. And that's why you'll stay behind. Because while you're planning your comeback, they're lapping you. While you're re-watching motivation videos, they're collecting wins in silence. While you're waiting for the right moment, they've already taken what was supposed to be yours. You want to be respected. Then stop acting like you deserve respect just because you feel bad about your life. Respect is earned through blood, through isolation, through repetition, through ugly mornings, through doing the damn work when nobody claps. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you sacrificed something real? When was the last time you gave something up that actually hurt? You say you want to succeed, but you still eat like you're celebrating. You still sleep like you're safe. You still scroll like you got time to waste. That's not hunger, that's delusion. And guess what? Delusion doesn't get you crowned, it gets you buried. Welcome back! Looks like you're finally ready for real change. Drop a win in the comments if you're done lying to yourself. One word, one signal. Let the world know you woke up. This ain't therapy. This is a call to arms. This is your mirror screaming back at you. No filter, no softness, no hug at the end. You want the win? Prove you deserve it. You know what's wild? You've convinced yourself that wanting it is enough. That dreaming is some kind of divine strategy. You walk around with this half-cooked confidence like the world owes you something just for showing up. Let me tell you what the world owes you. Not a damn thing. It doesn't care about your vision board. It doesn't care that you tried. It cares about results. You either deliver or you disappear. Simple. You've confused awareness with action. You think just because you know what's wrong, that somehow counts. You say things like, I just need to get more focused, and then open TikTok. You say, I'm trying, but your try lasts exactly 3 days, then dies in a pile of Uber Eats bags and unfinished reps. You've got a playlist of motivation clips saved, but you haven't listened to your own inner voice in months. You wrote your goals down in gel pen. Congrats. Maybe next time write them in blood. Every time it's time to actually execute, you fold, you flinch, you scroll, you go dark. You vanish like a magician with stage fright. You're not grinding, you're hiding, you're not planning, you're procrastinating with prettier language. You keep blaming the plan. It's not working. Number, you're not working. You've got time for Netflix, time for gossip, time for food that makes you slower, but no time for the one thing that'll set you free. Discipline. Discipline is the dark magic that separates the wolves from the sheep. It's ugly, it's uncomfortable, it's boring, and it's what builds killers. You say you're tired? Good. You're supposed to be tired. You're supposed to feel sore. You're supposed to have days where you question yourself. That's how you know you're not hallucinating this journey. You're living it. You don't need another plan. You need a funeral. A full-on burial for the version of you that keeps showing up when it's time to be a savage. You keep bringing a soft heart to a war zone. You keep whispering affirmations in a battlefield. You keep asking for motivation instead of commanding your mind like a soldier. Let me make this clear. You will never feel like doing it. Not consistently, not every day, not when it matters. And that's exactly why it counts. If it was easy, it wouldn't mean shit. If it was convenient, everyone would be legendary. But everyone isn't, and most of you won't be, because you can't get through a week without falling apart, because you still think discipline is optional, because you still think you can cry your way into confidence. Let me guess. You needed a break. You deserved some rest. You needed a mental health day. Let me be the first to say it. You didn't need a break. You needed to shut up and keep going. You needed to work through the emotion. You needed to lift heavier. You needed to run further. You needed to look in the mirror and say, this is what it feels like to earn it. But you chose softness. Again, you chose comfort. Again, you chose average, dressed up as self-care. You keep calling weakness wisdom and fear intuition. You don't need guidance. You need grit. You don't need a new phase. You need pressure. Let me ask you something else. If you died tomorrow, would the grind even notice? Would your name echo in the work? Would your absence create a silence? Or would it be like you never tried? That's the part that should haunt you. Not what people think. Not what the haters say, but the fact that you haven't done enough to be missed. You haven't done enough to be remembered. So either change that, or stop pretending you're building something worth remembering. You talk a lot about becoming that guy. You want to be him, huh? The alpha, the winner, the one they respect in every room. But here's the truth. You're not him. Not yet. You're still stuck on the habits of a follower while claiming the identity of a leader. You want to walk like a king, but move like a peasant. You want to be feared, but can't even be trusted with a basic routine. You want power, but keep letting weakness talk you out of your own momentum. Let me tell you what makes someone dangerous. It's not the tattoos, it's not the money, it's not the car, it's discipline, it's emotional coldness in the face of resistance, it's shutting up and getting it done when no one's watching. It's quiet mornings and loud results. It's being consistent when you're angry, focused when you're heartbroken, and unbothered when they doubt you. You think your edge is ambition? Number, your edge is execution. Without that, you're just another person with potential that dies in your notes app. You say you're building something, but all I see is someone who keeps resetting, starting over every Monday like life's a damn video game. You want progress, but you keep pressing the restart button because you weren't feeling it. That's the softest lie you've ever told yourself. The enemy is comfort. The enemy is waiting. The enemy is the voice that says, I'll do it later, while your opportunities walk right past you. And you don't even realize how much time you've already wasted. Years gone, blaming your past, blaming your trauma, blaming your ex, blaming your circumstances, blaming the algorithm, blaming God. And all that time, the only thing you didn't do was take full accountability. You still want to be saved, still hoping someone pulls you out of your mess and hands you a throne, but no one is coming. Not now, not ever. The moment you get that, the moment it clicks that the grind doesn't care about your pain, the work doesn't care about your tears, and your destiny is allergic to excuses, that's the moment everything changes. That's when your life begins. When you finally stop asking the world to understand and start demanding more from yourself. When you stop shrinking around weakness and start punishing every distraction like it's an enemy soldier. You don't need more inspiration. You need a system that makes it impossible for you to go back. You need to kill the version of yourself that keeps negotiating with laziness. That soft little voice that says, just skip today. You deserve it. You don't deserve shit. Not yet. You haven't proven anything. You haven't shown up long enough to be proud. You haven't suffered enough to be respected. You keep looking for external motivation, but you don't even trust your own word. You said you'd do it. You didn't. You said this was your year. It wasn't. You said you were locked in. You weren't even near the door. So why should anyone believe in you if you don't even believe in your own schedule? Let that sink in. You want support? Earn it. You want loyalty? Model it. You want followers? Be worth following. Stop asking the world to give you what you haven't bled for. Nobody respects talk. They respect proof. They respect repetition. They respect control. And right now, you don't have any. But here's the beautiful part. You can fix it. You can turn the tide. You can become the version of you that keeps promises and keeps pressure and keeps showing up when everything else says to fold. But you better do it now, because the world is getting louder. The distractions are getting stronger. And your old habits, they're waiting on you to slip so they can eat. You want to know why you keep falling off? Why you start strong and vanish halfway through your own story? It's because deep down, you think the grind owes you something. You think showing up for 5 days earns you a reward. You think being consistent for 2 weeks deserves a breakthrough. But the truth is, the grind doesn't reward effort. It rewards endurance. You want to be elite? Then you have to stop expecting applause for doing what you said you'd do. You don't get a trophy for keeping your word. You don't get a pat on the back for being focused for a weekend. You want to win? Then this isn't about mood. It's not about emotion. It's about routine, obsession, precision, the daily destruction of excuses until there's nothing left but progress. Most of you can't go 7 days without sabotage. You'll be locked in Monday and making justifications by Friday. You think discomfort is a sign to slow down? No, it's a sign you're finally moving. You think resistance means stop? No, it means keep going, but you keep looking for the path with no pain, the journey with no suffering, the breakthrough without the breakdown. That path doesn't exist, and even if it did, you wouldn't belong there. You haven't bled for this. You haven't sacrificed real things, not comfort, not pride, not your distractions. You're still trying to drag your vices into your new life. You want to keep your laziness and your greatness. You want to keep your ego and your evolution. You want to be reborn without dying to your old self. It doesn't work like that. Something has to die for something greater to rise. Either your weakness goes, or your dreams do. Let me make it even clearer. If you're still checking your phone before you check your goals, you're not serious. If you still eat like a king, but work like a jester, you're not serious. If you still run to comfort when pressure hits, you're not serious. And no, I don't care how many I got this quotes you saved. If your life isn't proof, then your words are worthless. You've been so afraid of being too hard on yourself that you've let yourself go soft. You convinced yourself that grace meant no consequences, that loving yourself meant letting yourself off the hook. But that's not love, that's betrayal. Because if you really loved yourself, you'd demand more. You'd expect greatness. You'd hold yourself to a higher code and slap the lies out of your own mouth. Discipline is self-love. And right now, you don't love yourself enough to dominate. You don't love yourself enough to do what's necessary. You don't love yourself enough to say no to weakness and yes to evolution, even when it hurts. You keep chasing comfort like it's the reward, but the truth is, comfort is the curse. Comfort is the enemy. Comfort is the devil wearing sweatpants and handing you excuses like candy. Comfort whispers, "You've done enough." But deep down, you know you haven't. You know you left something on the table. You know you're still playing small and calling it balance. Balance doesn't mean stagnation. Rest doesn't mean rot. Peace doesn't mean pause. You're not tired. You're undisciplined. You're not overwhelmed. You're unorganized. You're not burnt out. You're bored. Bored because deep down, you know you've been playing it safe, playing it slow, playing it soft. So stop lying. Stop shrinking. Stop looking for loopholes. The version of you that wins, that version isn't afraid to be hated. That version shows up early, stays late, and doesn't post about it. That version moves like vengeance. That version doesn't make noise, it makes progress. Here's the truth you've been avoiding. Nobody's clapping for your potential. Nobody's impressed by your almost. Nobody cares that you could have been great. That sentence only matters if you finish it with action. You've spent too long thinking you're owed something. You're not. You're owed exactly what you execute on, and nothing more. You say you're locked in? Prove it. You say this is your season? Then show me the scars. You say you're chosen? Then stop moving like you're optional. You can't claim greatness and live like a side quest. You either rise now, or you rot quietly while pretending you're still building. And let me be real with you. If you died today, would the grind even notice? Would your name echo through the results? Or would it disappear in silence like you were never even here? If that stings, it should. You're not behind, you're just soft. You're not stuck, you're scared. But none of that matters now. What matters is what you do next. Not what you feel, not what you say. What you, Doctor. So here's your choice. Deserve it or disappear. Bleed for it or get buried by those who will. Don't come back to this video. Come back to your life and rewrite it with your spine. Subscribe if you're serious, or stay soft. Skeletor out.